Hello people, Vike Froome here. Little update. I have just arrived in Escanaba, Michigan to do another one of my work assignments, driving for a parcel delivery company in the traveling manner. And just thought I'd throw this up here. This is where I live. This is my house, my official residence in Escanaba, Michigan. This is the former St. Patrick's Church. It's a Catholic church. I bought it in about 2013, I believe it was, and it is where I live when I'm up here. But I had mentioned in some of my other videos that I'm literally willing to sell everything I own in order to do the Pacific Crest Trail hike next year, and this is literally on the list of things that are up for sale to help finance my trip. So I just thought I'd add this into the videos a little bit, and that might pique some interest in either A, watching my videos, or B, buying the church. So I'm going to head on inside now, and actually getting ready to go inside and get my dog Buck out and take him over to the local dog park. So here we go. Oh yeah, also for sale, a little kind of early start on actually fairly advanced start on an adapted tracker. It's been shortened a little bit, made kind of more like a side-by-side than an actual street car, and then I've got another side track under there, or tracker, whichever it is. I don't even remember at this point. That one's pretty rusty, but runs great. This one I've never actually had running yet. Or my International Harvester Scout. That's the Terra model with the full pickup bed style and the pickup cap style. Like I said, everything I own is pretty much for sale to help finance my upcoming Pacific Crest Trail hike. Now let's go inside. I'll just show you a little bit of what this is. To be clear, I mentioned this is my home. This is where I live when I'm in the UP, and I have not lived here in about 5 years, basically. It's a former church that I've never gotten around to fully converting to living quarters. I've been here on and off. I've owned it for about 12 years now, maybe. I've been here on and off throughout the years. It is a shelter. I do live here when I'm here, but it is not at all converted for living. It is a big, huge, empty building that I have not yet done anything with. So don't expect much. Like I say, literally, there's leaves that have blown inside. It's mainly a giant storage area for me at this point, and for a friend. I've got a friend that lost his former rental and basically moved a bunch of his stuff in here to be stored. The false ceiling that was put up probably 40 or 50 years ago comes down in places. I've taken it down intentionally in places to work on the plumbing, but it also is just old, needs to be taken down. But this is the basement meeting room or ballroom or great room. There's a commercial kitchen located back there from when they used to do church events here. And then lots of stairs in this building. No elevator. Here is the aforementioned Buck, the world's greatest dog. Buck is about a 13-year-old mix. He's mostly American Staffordshire Terrier. His number 2 breed was Rottweiler, so he's larger than most American Staffordshire Terriers would be, and very muscular. And he's also about 13 years old. He's about 120 pounds right now. In his prime, he was about a 95-pounder and was an absolute marvel of strength and grace and speed. And now he's a little bit mellower, and he's thickened a little bit over the years, as have I. This is my front porch. View off my front porch. My steeple towers. My front door, etc. So again, it's mainly been used for storage, has not been cleaned in 5 years, has not been organized in 5 years. Possibly the worst thing about having such a large place is that you can buy anything you want because you have room for it, and then ultimately you end up just throwing things in here and waiting until you have a need for them. I believe it was 2003 when the Catholics closed it down. They sold it to actually a Wesleyan church group who used it as their church for a while. And then the pastor passed away, and the congregation apparently, I guess, kind of just ceased to exist. Apparently he must have been very charismatic, but then that was in around 2008, 2009, and I found it online in 2013 and purchased it. I always like to call it the world's largest impulse buy. I mean, I was looking for property or a home in the area because I was living here and running a chiropractic office about 65 miles away. I just happened to see this on a realty site. And so I bought it, but it was very affordable at the time, and again, it was just magnificent, so I bought it. But as I said, life has not allowed me to really get to it a whole lot. So it is still mainly just a church building that I happen to own and live in. There's windows up there that some storms have blown out over the years, so it's boarded up and closed in, but a really cool framework you can see. I hope to get some windows mounted in there. This is, each side of the building has one of these, which are pretty spectacular. Obviously lots of great sunlight comes in here. This particular area up here, the window just blew out of there somehow in a storm just this past spring or fall, and so it's just got some kind of plastic taped in for right now, but I'm getting ready to work on that while I'm here back in town. One of the great things I got from it is I've got about 26, 27 of these pews left, and they're just magnificent wood, and quite honestly, I think the wood alone in these is worth more than they're worth as pews. So I frequently think about starting to build furniture out of the wood, not trying to even utilize the ornate or already built-in natural curves or purpose of the pews, but to just disassemble them and use the wood to build a variety of different pieces of furniture. I've also got I've owned a couple antique shops. I've picked up some antiques over the years and dropped them in here. Just got a great mid-century modern kind of tiki set, whole furnishing set. But anyway, so this is my house. These are called, there's the worst part in the building, by the way. I want to make that very clear. When I first bought it, there were some leaks in the gutters. The gutters were backing up, because back in the day, gutters were piped on large buildings like this directly into the city sewers. So the gutters went straight down into the ground and into the city sewers to drain. And because of that, the same problem you have with your household piping and plumbing, where roots and things can get in there and clog them up, has happened to the guttering system that drains the church roof at times. So when I first moved in, there was a little bit of a backup in the gutters over in this corner, and a little bit of a backup in the gutters over in this corner. And I have gotten those gutter drainage pipes rotor-rooted basically, and they no longer back up and no longer cause any leaking problems, but there was enough moisture up in these sections of the roof that probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and as I said, I've owned this building for about 12 years now, about 4 or 5 years ago, little flakes in the plaster started, and that's the only place where it's gotten that bad. But another thing I like to point out is these ceilings. Unsupported arches are something that's very cool, and you see in a lot of drawings or video games or Gothic kind of imagination, but it's very rare to have hang down arches that have no support. Usually there's a pole under there holding those arches up. So these are called faux pendant arch ceilings. And they're incredibly rare, and especially incredibly rare to still be standing after 120 years. These ones happen to be very, very sturdy and firm. The framework up above is just magnificent. If you get up in the attic and look at them. And they have these beautiful little angel faces on all 4 fronts. That's also some kind of Celtic designs. This was St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Escanaba, Michigan. So obviously St. Patrick being Irish, this was the Irish Catholic Church. And that was some Celtic designs. And I've got some places where you can still see the original Celtic pattern that was used. These were some later additions that were done after some repainting, but there's places where I can show the originals. But anyway, so this is Mike's St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Escanaba, Michigan, which, as I said, it is for sale. I do have it listed on Zillow. I would gladly sell it, and that money would also help finance my Pacific Crest Trail hike next year. Or, in the alternative, I do not sell it. The thought is that if I get lucky and get any kind of following after doing the Pacific Crest Trail, I may do a GoFundMe and turn this into kind of a naturalist slash outdoors-ish slash whatever, conservationist type of hostel, and keep the building turned into a hostel, because the natural activity, outdoor activity level here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is just off the hook. So many things to do, and I thought I'd make this a kind of like a traveler's hostel. So if I don't sell it, then possibly, again, if there's any kind of following, we will turn this into a nature lovers hostel after I get done with the Pacific Crest Trail, and then we can use it as a base for which to do hiking in the UP, mountain biking in the UP, bicycling in the UP, just, kayaking, fishing. I mean, there's fishing, hunting, whatever. So much outdoor stuff to do. So a lot of space here we could utilize for a lot of great things. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my house. This is my house, and it's pretty damn awesome. Have a great day. Thanks. Goodbye.